Welcome to another exciting episode of BattleBots at Home, the ultimate test of robot excellence. As you can see, this fight card is unlike any other in terms of brutal bots ready to throw down. We have the ultimate flipper battle between FBF and Alien. The fantastic food-themed Burger Time hopes to use the power of beef to take down the legends. And as for the main event, we got two of the most destructive bots you'll ever see. It's the ultra-powerful Disc-O-Inferno taking on the king of kinetic energy, TombStone. But first, we have the always entertaining Jerry, who is currently 1-0, going up against the Revolutionists, who despite their loss against Pump Up earlier in the season, is still one of the most feared bots around. Let's get into that fight right now. Three, two, one. Let the bot battle begin. The Revolutionists, Jerry spinning up to speed, two deadly spinners. The Revolutionists, the more obviously threatening. Oh, especially now as they rip off Jerry's face. Jerry has been split in half. Oh, there goes another piece. And Jerry's now sitting duck. That powerful disc of the Revolutionists, showing why it's so feared, just completely decapitates Jerry. Jerry isn't looking so hot right now. It's another huge slam from the Revolutionists, and it's just sad to see poor Jerry getting torn to pieces. And I think this fight is over before it even begins. Revolutionists pushing them into a pulverizer, just add insult to injury, as if that was even necessary at this point. And Jerry looking worse for wear. Their entire weapon assembly is gone. Heck, half the entire robot is gone. And I think the drive might be gone too, as the robot is not moving. I think all the punishment finally caught up. And the Revolutionists shows that they may have lost the pump up earlier, but they are a deadly bot. Just look what they did to poor Jerry. Well, let this be a lesson. Do not mess with the Revolutionists. This is a lesson that Jerry unfortunately had to learn the hard way. They got some nice shots in when they had their weapon, but then said weapon just got ripped off their entire body. And once that happened, the fight was basically over. Jerry had no way of fighting back, and the Revolutionists just tore through him like paper. Revolutionists, they're now 1-1. Next up, we have a pair of 0-1 bots ready to fight each other. It's 87, who lost their first fight against Bite Force, taking on Mindbender, who got KO'd by Tough earlier. Who will get back on track with a win? Let's find out now. Three, two, one. Let the bot battle begin. Mindbender with a massive shot on the 87. Oh, and Mindbender once again has split into pieces. This is a major problem for obvious reasons. 87 takes the opportunity to get a good grab. Now, Mindbender does have one half of its weapon, which is its own body, but that, oh, well, never mind. The wheels have been detached, and this is exactly how they lost to Tough. And just like that, Mindbender is all bent out of shape in multiple pieces and will be heading to 0-2, while 87 will redeem itself, get a win, and go to 1-1. I gotta say, Mindbender is a good idea, but unfortunately the bot is just too fragile. They only got one hit on 87 before the bot split into pieces again, and once that happened, there wasn't much else they could do. 87 just grabbed them by the wheels, slammed to the wall, broke it off, and the bot was dead in the water. 87 gets a good win, while Mindbender will have to rethink for later. Next up, we have a pair of some of the largest flippers we've ever seen. We have Alien, a bot who got an impressive upset win over Gridlock earlier by flipping them right out of the arena. Their opponent is FBF, which stands for Full Body Flipper, who also managed to get their first opponent out of the arena in less than 30 seconds. This is a fight that's going to be flipping fantastic. Let's get into it right now. Three, two, one. Let the bot battle begin. We got ourselves a duel between Flippers, and Alien gets the first shot in, throwing FBF through the air, and again, but FBF gets a revenge shot onto Alien, but Alien gets another good hit and throws FBF up into the air. FBF gets another shot. It's a good back and forth, but Alien retaliates and they throw him out of the arena, and in less than 20 seconds, the fight is over. FBF out of the arena. Alien just showing what they could do. This fight was so fast-paced, a little bit back and forth, but Alien on top for most of it, obviously. FBF got some nice flips, but Alien's flips were just better. They were greater, and they were more deadly. Eventually, they were able to get the flip they needed, just launch FBF out of the arena, and launch themselves into a 2-0 record. FBF, you're going 1-1. Up next, we have the Hammer of Walking Mess going up against the Full Body Spinner of Unintended Consequences. Both of these bots are winless so far. Who will finally claim a victory? Let's find out now. Three, two, one. Let the bot battle begin. Massive shot by Unintended Consequences right off the gate. Walking Mess just trying to get a good hit on Unintended Consequences. Getting hit really hard though. Ooh, massive shot there. Oh, but that's another massive shot. Walking Mess nearly hit out of the arena. Pieces have come off and Unintended Consequences. Oh, just absolutely brutalizing Walking Mess in the corner. Walking Mess axe assembly is gone. Some of the little feet are gone. And the Walking Mess has just been absolutely battered and bruised. They're in pieces, and I think this fight is dead. I think Walking Mess is dead. I think they're down for the count. Unintended Consequences taking some damage, but it wasn't for nothing as they have won this fight. They'll be going 1-1, while Walking Mess won't be doing any walking anytime soon. Walking Mess, they tried their best. Oh, that rhymed. I'm happy about that. Regardless, they brought down the hammer, but it just wasn't enough to deal with the massive spinner of Unintended Consequences. Unintended Consequences just absolutely ragdolling them, smashing in them as much as possible, tearing pieces off every chance they got, especially in that corner. And in the end, they just shot their shot and they won. That's 4 fights down, 4 more to go, with the final fight being our amazing main event between TombStone and Disc-O-Inferno. Let's take a sneak peek at that right now. Up next, we have Tough, a veteran of the show, who's off to a hot start this season after a fantastic win against Mindbender. Their opponent is Witch Doctor, who despite having drive issues in his first fight, was able to get a good KO win over Venom and Chisel. Who would advance to 2-0? Let's find out now. Three, two, one. Let the bot battle begin. Both these bots 1-0. Only one can go 2-0, and it might be tough as they flip over Witch Doctor. And Witch Doctor. This version of Witch Doctor does not have a self-fighting mechanism, which means I think this fight is already over. Yep, they're getting counted out, and Witch Doctor never even left their square. Tough gets one of the most dominant, quickest wins in the history of the show. Witch Doctor, this is an embarrassing loss for them. This is the replay. It's the whole fight. Just one lift, flipped them over, couldn't self-right. And that was it. Tough really showing that they are a bot to watch. Witch Doctor will have to do better in the third fight to bounce back from this. Our next bots may not be the most competitive, but they sure are fun to watch. It's Burger Time, facing off against the Legends. After losing their first fights, both of these bots are desperate for their first win of the season. Time to find out who will get it. Three, two, one. Let the bot battle begin. Both of these bots are very unique. Burger Time fires that projectile. I don't know if it actually hit anyone. Doesn't matter. As Bite Force gets underneath them at the front. Meanwhile, TombStone trying to come to the side and Bronco getting in there, and they're all just ganging up on him. That's the one benefit of a multi-bot. It's numbers. Oh, Witch Doctor gets flipped over by Burger Time. Burger Time showing that they can be a deadly machine despite their theming, and the entire Burger Hammer has come off. So that's not good. Already, the little guys have gotten some major damage. I don't know how, but they have. Witch Doctor's upside down. Oh, but you see in the background, Bite Force flip them back over. This is amazing teamwork from the Legends. This is what you gotta do to be a good multi-bot here. And there goes the lifting arm of Burger Time. And just like that, Burger Time has no more weapons. Meanwhile, the Legends technically have 4 weapons. Now Burger Time just at the mercy of these multi-bots. I'm not really sure what they can do. They have no more offensive capabilities now. And the Legends can kind of just do whatever they want with them. The Legends, they're a good multi-bot when they work together well. And they really are now. Ooh, good hit there. They're kind of slamming into TombStone. That's the one thing Burger Time can do. It can use its weight advantage to slam these little bots around. But if they get underneath them like now, that's not going to help. As Bronco gets some tiny, tiny flips. So does little Bite Force. Ooh, TombStone getting some shots underneath there too. This is just some amazing teamwork from the Legends. And they're all just pushing them. Burger Time getting cornered by 4 bots at once. And now the bots combined just pushing them into the screws. Burger Time is not happy. Did anyone order shredded burger? I don't know who would like that, but here we are. Burger Time just getting shredded by the screws, it would seem. The bots watch on. They're getting pulled onto the screws. Burger Time just can't seem to get down. And they could they get counted out? I don't know exactly how this works. They're kind of just stuck. They're not stuck in the screws. They're stuck on the screws. And now that's it. I think now they're going to get counted out. Burger Time cannot get down from that position. And the Legends have redeemed themselves from their loss of speed run. They go 1-1, but unfortunately the Burger is going 0-2. Now this is what the Legends are meant to do. They've struggled in the past, but when they work together, they really can get stuff done. Witch Doctor got flipped over, but Bite Force helped them out earlier. And then all the bots just ganged up on Burger Time. Burger Time's weapons were too fragile. The projectile did nothing. The lifter broke. The hammer Burger broke. And with that, they were defenseless against this gang of little tiny legendary robots. Eventually, Burger Time got stuck on the screws. And that was it. Lights out for the Burger. In our next fight, we have Megabyte, a deadly full-body spinner. Unfortunately, things didn't work out so well in their first fight of the season when they got tossed all across the arena by Hydration. They'll be hoping to bounce back in their next fight against Gridlock, another great bot who's unfortunately 0-1. For this fight, Gridlock will actually be using a brand new wedge configuration specifically to counter Megabyte. Will it be enough to win this fight? Let's find out now. Three, two, one. Let the bot battle begin. Will that wedge be enough? Only one way to find out. Remember, Megabyte got second place in our new blood special. They've destroyed incredibly dangerous bots. They've even beaten Hypershock in the past. But Gridlock is another good bot, but they're currently staring down an 0-2 record. They don't want to go down there. Neither does Megabyte. These two amazing bots don't have the current records to prove it. They're both 0-1, and unfortunately one of them's going to go 0-2. And neither one of them wants that to happen, which is why they're fighting so hard right now. Gridlock slamming into Megabyte. Megabyte returns the favor, and I think that wedge is holding up, but you never know. Take too many shots from Megabyte, it could be all over. As Megabyte gets pushed into the pulverizer, Gridlock wants to do this. They want to prevent Megabyte from spinning up as much as possible. They want to pin him against the wall and just slow down that massive shell spinner. Oh, specifically to avoid shots like that, massive shot froze across Gridlock, and again, and I think a piece of Gridlock has come off. You can see it in the background. Not sure how important it was, but Gridlock gets underneath Megabyte on the side of the wall, and they're out of the arena. And just like that, Gridlock has gotten an amazing win, and just in time, as the entire lifter has come off. What are the chances? If that happened earlier, it would have been over, but unfortunately, Megabyte out of the arena. I gotta say, now this is a good fight. This was a fight between some pretty good bots. Gridlock desperate not to take too many shots from Megabyte, and you saw why at the end. Megabyte basically tore off their face, and if that had happened earlier, they would have won this fight. No doubt Megabyte would have had the win, but unfortunately, Gridlock with its last breath was able to get them out of the arena and win the fight before that could happen. Good job, Gridlock. It is now time for our all-important main event. It's a battle of giants as TombStone faced off against Disc-O-Inferno. Starting with Disc-O-Inferno, I'm sure it is a robot a lot of you recognize. Disc-O-Inferno has built up a reputation for being incredibly brutal, as it showed in its dominance over an MLU4's Robot Wars. This may be a different show, but this bot is just as dangerous as ever. However, if there's one bot that can match Disc-O-Inferno in terms of sheer destructiveness, it's TombStone. TombStone's weapon is a spinning bar capable of tearing chunks out of almost anything in its path. Needless to say, most bots that fight TombStone leave the arena in pieces. But now it's time for these two mean machines to show what they've got against each other. What happens when Goliath fights Goliath? Let's find out now. Three, 2, 1. Let the main event begin. Two deadly spinners, only one can survive. Good hit from Disc-O-Inferno on the TombStone. Oh, but the entire disc of Disc-O-Inferno has been ripped off. They're now just Inferno, I guess. More pieces coming off as TombStone keeping up the attacks now that they know that Inferno has nothing to attack with and nothing to drive with as their wheels have been torn away. And just like that, the fight is over. Sorry if it was anticlimactic, but with big spinners like this was bound to happen. Especially considering one of them was TombStone, who is now just playing with their food. Poor Disc-O-Inferno, their pieces are all across the box. They've gotten counted out, and TombStone will be winning this main event in brutal fashion. I gotta say, Disc-O-Inferno got one nice hit, but that's about it. With these big spinners, it all came down to who could deliver the shots, but also who could survive it. Disc-O-Inferno dished out some punishment at the beginning. They got one nice hit on the side of TombStone, but they couldn't handle it when they got hit back. And in the end, that's what cost them. TombStone was the right combination of destructive and durable. And unfortunately, once that happened, Disc-O-Inferno was just splattered all across the box. Sheer brutality from TombStone. They're now 2-0 with two very deadly wins. They could get that giant disc. TombStone, you scary. And just like that, we reached the end of another episode of Robotic Destruction. Just to recap, Jerry got its face ripped off by Revolutionist. Mindbender got taken out by 87. FBF got sent out of this world by Alien. Walking Mess got messed up by unintended consequences. Witch Doctor got turned over by Tough. The Legends ate burger time for dinner. Gridlock locked Megabyte out of the arena. And in our main event, TombStone sent Disc-O-Inferno to the Shadow Realm. As always, we hope you've enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.